Assalamualaikum. Today we are going to present our ICT200 final group project, which is Shopee online shopping. So first group member we have Muhammad Habiel Wafi bin ZAIRI as a group leader. Second group member is Muhammad Islam bin FAISAL. And the third group member AZRI MUKHRIZ bin AZRI HISHAM. The fourth group member is me, Muhammad ARIF bin Muhammad SAPINY. And the last group member is AHMAD KHALIS bin ADERI. So first we are going to project briefing. The introduction of our project is we are going to develop an online website system, which is Shopee. The purpose of this system is going to be easy for the customer to buy any item using Shopee without going to get store. So what customer need to do is just install the application, Shopee application from Google Play Store or App Store in their device to start the online shopping.
Okay, now we're going to move on to ERD. So for our ERD, we have 5 tables. Table customer, order, product, seller, and shipment. Table customer, the PK is customer ID, order, order ID, product, product ID, seller, seller ID, and shipment, shipment ID. Table order have 3 FKs, customer ID, product ID, and shipment ID. Table product only have 1, seller ID. So one customer can make many order, one product can have many order, many products can be sold by one seller, and one order only have one shipment. Okay, now let's see the DB2. Okay, this is the tables, the list of tables, and these are all the content of table: customer, product, seller, order, and lastly shipment. Okay, now we're going to move on to queries. So for our queries, we are going to just explain one example problem for each topic of queries, because we are lacking time. So for my part of joining database tables query, I'm going to explain problem 5. So for problem 5 is find the customer ID, first name, email, and password of the customer whose quantity of items bought per order is more than 2 and who uses credit card as payment method. Okay, so if we copy this and put it into DB2, this is what we will get as the output.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So my name is AHMAD KHALIS bin ZAIRI. So now I will continue for the comparison operator and logical operator. For the comparison operator, basically it used to compare value, while the logical operation it used to compare two expression. So we look for the first comparison operator query here. So the user want to list down the product who has more than 100 items, more 100 quantity here. So this is basically the command. So this symbol here it represent the comparison operators, and for the logical operators of first query, the user want to find and list down the customer who paid by the Shopee Pay and bought over one item and more. So this is the command. So this and word here represent the logical operation. So this is basically the result for the comparison operator first query, and this is the result for the logical operator first query. So that's all for the comparison operators and logical operators. Thank you.
Okay, for special operators, our first problem, we need to list the customer ID, customer last name, customer username, and customer email for all customers whose first name starts with the letter A. We need to sort it by customer last name in ascending order. And here's the output for our query. This is our the output for our first query. For scalar functions and arithmetic, our first problem is all customers order total that are more than 115 gets a 10% discount. List order ID, customer ID, shipment ID, and new total after discount. Order by the total after discount. This is the output for the first query.
And now let's take a look at column functions and grouping. So for problem 1, find the customer ID, first name, total quantity of products, and total amount paid, order by the customer's ID in descending order. So here we have our query, and let's take it and put it in our database. So here we have our output.